Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive The Strange Lives of Batman box set from Mattel. That is right, my friends. A very special thanks to the folks over at Mattel for sending along this set early so we can get a good look at it ahead of the show. And I'm starting out on camera because I wanted to show you guys how massive this box was. When this was revealed, I don't know why, but I didn't envision it being so dang big. This box is huge. Here's the tape measure. Let me bring it in here so you can see that, oh my goodness, this thing, where are we at here? We are at a good 22 inches tall. Ridiculous. This is a massive box. The overall design is really cool. You can see it's printed with some of the old Batman comic pages there. It says 80 page giant Batman right there on the front, but also the whole thing kind of almost looks like a comic box. Like it even has the little punch out handles in the side. Obviously it's thinner than like a comic box, but that's totally what they're going for, I think, with this look. And then the back of it says The Strange Lives of Batman. So this is a really nice sturdy box. This is your outer box, and it opens up like this. I actually like the way that the top opens up. But this is just the outer box. We got to pull the inside box out and really get a look at that. Because bam! This is what's inside of that awesome outer box. And the inside box is even more amazing. They went for an entire comic book cover motif here. With Batman standing in the middle, it says The Strange Lives of Batman, plus 4 more bizarre stories. And then you got like those great little image panels from like the cover, which are window boxes for your 4 action figures that are inside. So we've got the regular Batman here, which says how to be the Batman. But then we've got the negative Batman, we've got the zebra Batman, and we've got the rainbow Batman. And when we flip this around to the other side, it's got the table of contents, letting you know the stories of each of the characters within, along with their page number for the comic book. I think that's a really great little Easter egg thing here for the back. Because you might notice there's a few other Batmans listed here. That's because there's a few little extra goodies inside this box. Let me show you what I mean, because look at that. That is a nice slip cover that just comes right off. You can see the table of contents, everything's printed right there on that slip cover. And when you remove that, you're left with just your windows here, which are showing your figures. And you know what? There's no actual windows anymore. Now that I took the slip cover off, we just have the little clamshells. And look at this. You can actually just pull each of the Batman figures right out of this box. And this is a nice sturdy box too. So what I like about that is this is collector-friendly packaging, meaning that if you want to open these up, but then you ultimately decide you want to put them back in this box because this box is such a cool display piece, you can do that. There's a few little tabs that you'll end up cutting. You know, those little plastic twist tie things. Not quite the twist tie ones, but you know what I mean. So you'll have to cut those. But you can still stick Batman back in these clamshells and then easily put them right back here in the box. Look at that. How cool is that? Really fun stuff. But that's not all. Not only do we have Batman, negative Batman, zebra Batman, and rainbow Batman, but there's a little hidden compartment up here at the top. Look at this. Look at this. So there's some extra little pieces up here in the top. We've even got pictures on the flap right above it. So we've got a beard so that you can recreate Rip Van Batman. You would just put that on the basic Batman body. We've got the alien Batman. Again, that head will fit on the regular body. We've got Batman's robot twin. It's just a little mouthpiece to put on Batman there to make the robot Batman. We've got Batman's secret identity, Bruce Wayne. No suit body, but hey, we can put that on the Batman body. And then, if we pull this out, the last little hidden treasure in here, we actually have a poster featuring Zebra Batman. The packaging presentation is amazing with this. I absolutely love this. I could totally see why any collector would choose to leave this in box and just display it. If you can find enough space on your shelves for this giant box, this is one really epic display, and you can pretty much see everything except for the bonuses, but it's not hard to lift up that flap if you want to see the extra stuff. So it's a really great package. Mattel always delivers, it feels like, with the San Diego Comic-Con packaging, but we are going to go ahead and pull all of these out because I want to get a closer look at each of the figures as well as the fun additional accessories. All right, we got our strange Batman action figures outside of the box. Look at this colorful crew. Seriously, this is just, it's already so much fun. Of course, this is Mattel's DC lineup, so the figures are in the 6-inch scale, but as you can see, if I bring in the tape measure, they are about 6.5 inches tall each. It is worth noting that all 4 of these figures appear to share the exact same bodies, which is fine. It makes sense. They're all supposed to be from the same era, just, you know, with the different crazy costumes that he's wearing there. So every one of these figures is the same. So why don't we go ahead and move the crazy colored guys out of the way for just a moment, and let's focus on good old regular blue and gray Batman here. So all in all, I love the colors because I love this classic blue and gray costume. I love like that old school bat insignia on his chest. I love the blue highlights that you can see on his trunks there. I do have some paint imperfections, unfortunately. You can see there are some spots on his gloves on both sides where the blue is just not painted all the way. You can see the gray underneath kind of bleeding through, but also you can see some overspray with the blue at the tops of the gloves. Unfortunately, it's quite sloppy on this guy. He's the only one that really stands out to me in this batch that has that bad of a paint issue. You can see a little bit of like the overspray on the blue here as well on his trunks. You can tell that they just painted the gray over. The upper legs are probably black. So there's a little bit of blue overspray, but mostly you can just see that it's kind of sloppily painted gray there. I don't know if that comes through on camera, but it's pretty noticeable, and that's the biggest letdown, I think, on this guy. The design is pretty good for the most part. I don't know how I feel about these thigh joints though. His legs look a little extra skinny, but mostly like on the upper thighs, because like his upper body feels like it's a little thicker than his legs right here. You see what I mean? They look a little too scrawny at that spot. So I'm not sure I completely love these thigh joints on there. But otherwise, aside from my nitpicks there, the figure feels good. I mean, he's got a good solid plastic. The joints are tight. You can see he's standing really good. And while we're talking about those joints, let's run through the articulation. So there's a ball joint at the top of the head. You can see the head rolls all the way around, and there's a hinge, so the head moves up and down pretty nicely. You do have those ball-like hinges there at the shoulders. Forwards, backwards, outwards movement, swivels at the bicep, just a single joint at the elbow, but it's a good range of motion. You can see he gets a good bend there at the elbow. Swivels at the wrist, they look like they kind of roll around. Might be ball joint, but I'm not entirely sure. Could just be a looser peg, but you can see they swivel pretty good. There's no hinges there. You do have an ab crunch. You've got a swivel at the waist, which is actually below the belt there. You do got those hinge ball joints there at the thighs, so they can go outwards really nicely, forwards and backwards. You got swivels at the thigh cut. You do have double joints at the knees. There's nothing at the boot cut, likely because of the shape of the boot sculpt. Otherwise, the ankles go forwards and backwards, but they also have the side-to-side rockers. So pretty decent articulation, and like I said, it's nice and tight on there, so you can get some pretty good poses. I like how the ankles rock side to side, so that way you can get some different wider stances with them, and it works out pretty well. And of course, you've probably noticed already, but he does have a cloth cape. All of them have this. If you raise up the cape, you can actually see the Mattel copyright information printed on his back. This cape, of course, is non-removable. It's attached underneath the plastic cowl on the figure. So we got the cloth capes for all of these guys. Now, they don't come with any weapons. There's nothing like that, but with a variety of different Batman figures and some interchangeable heads, we can do some fun things here. So let's go ahead and bring it on over to Negative Batman. So this guy has the least amount of paint deco, basically, because he is like a solid black mostly, with a white bat insignia, the white on his mask there, and you got a little bit of white like shading down here, very similar to how the blue is shaded on our other Batman's trunks. He's got a deep black cloth cape, but here's one thing that's really interesting, and I don't know if this is coming through on camera, but this black is actually a translucent black plastic. It is very, very dark. So I almost didn't even notice it at first. I can see it under my studio lights, and like I said, I am not sure if that's coming across in camera, but this is a very, very dark translucent plastic. Here, you can see it in the hand because it's a little thinner there. So you can see how my finger's moving behind the hand. So the whole body appears to be made of this translucent plastic. You can see it down here in the legs as well. So that's pretty nice. This is Negative Batman. He's sensitive to bright lights. So apologies, Negative Batman, for all my studio lights that are shining on you right now. All right, Zebra Batman. Holy cow, I love this. It is just so weird and bizarre, and it's fantastic. Look at the way this guy stands out. Okay, so his cape isn't like that felty kind of cloth like the other ones. It's much more silky in its material, but it's got an awesome zebra print there, printed on the outside. It's got a bit of a shimmer to it, which is really cool. And then all of the zebra print, the zebra stripes on the body, are pretty nicely painted. Like, none of them are really overly sloppy. I've got a little spot missing on the bat insignia there where the black looks like it kind of rubbed off somewhere. But for the most part, he's very clean. I love how bright he is, like that bright white with the black stripes. It is very striking. Just makes for a really weird and wild looking Batman figure. And then that brings us to Rainbow Batman. Oh my gosh, look at the colors on this guy, like Technicolor Batman going on here. It's amazing. It is just so much fun. Very similar to Zebra Batman. His cape is also that silkier type of material with the very, very colorful shimmer going on there. It's really neat looking. And all the colors are bright and vibrant on this guy. It's nice straight stripes for the most part. Nothing on here looks overly sloppy or anything like that. Just a very cool looking figure. I mentioned that these guys are all shared bodies. I guess I should have really kind of shown you guys more articulation. The joints are all tight on all of these guys. It all feels the same on every figure, so I don't really have any issues posing them around or getting them to stand up. Just a very, very fun batch of Batman figures. But the weird paint deco is not all, because we've got some other fun things to talk about here. Okay, so I showed you all of those other interchangeable parts, which allows you to basically make 4 other Batman figures just using the body we've got here. And the way that this is done is either with swappable heads or swappable faceplates. That's right. You can actually remove the faceplate on Batman. You can see there's just a small peg that holds the mouth into place. It actually holds on there nice and tight, so none of them feel loose. You just kind of get in there and pop it off. You can pull it off just like that. And then in its place, we can stick this bearded mouth and we can create Rip Van Batman, our bearded Batman that wakes up in the future where Robin has taken over as Batman and he's just still wearing his bat suit with a giant long beard for some reason. It's amazing. Or you can pop off the beard and we can attach this little metal mouth to make Batman's evil twin. See, all you gotta do is add that weird little metal piece and suddenly he's an evil robot. We've got a doppelganger here. I love it, it's amazing. All right, so we can also pop off the head. The head's just on a ball joint, so you can see you can just pop it right off the ball joint there, and in its place, we can pop on a crazy thing like this alien Batman. It takes a little bit of work the first time you pop it on the ball joint, but it's not too hard. Pops on nice and tight, and whoa! Look at this weird looking alien Batman. The ears and the antenna are very soft and pliable on this guy, so he's got kind of a squishier head than the others, but man, that is so weird and so bizarre looking. Really allows you to display a very strange looking Batman character. Or we can pop that off, and then we've got this very cool retro style Bruce Wayne head, square jaw and all. Looks a little weird. Actually, I don't know. I can't tell if it's a little too big for the body, but something about it feels a little strange. But regardless, it is a nicely sculpted head. I love that square jaw. Very cool. Now, since every one of these figures shares bodies, that means every one of these figures do have swappable heads, and they do have swappable mouthpieces. That's right. So really, you could put any of these parts on any of these figures if you want to, even though they don't really go together. If you want to put the robot part on Negative Batman, you can do that. If you want to put the beard on Zebra Batman, you can do that. If you want to swap mouths between Zebra Batman and Negative Batman and create your own crazy characters, you can do that. So it's pretty cool. All of the parts are totally interchangeable with the mouths and the heads, so you can mix and match these parts however you see fit. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the Strange Lives of Batman box set from Mattel. Once again, I gotta give a very special thanks to the folks at Mattel for sending this along so we can get a good look at it ahead of San Diego Comic-Con 2019. This set will be sold at SDCC, but I believe Mattel will also be selling limited quantities of their exclusives online after San Diego at some point or another, so stay tuned for more information on that. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment to let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my friends.